In the personal story segment tonight, critics are claiming today's health care bill failure is a major loss for President Trump. But could it actually turn into a win for his agenda? Joining us now to analyze from Boston, Adriana Cohen, columnist for the Boston Herald, and with us in studio, Democratic strategist Jessica Tarlov. I'm going to start with you, Jessica. It's a win. I'm going to make a declaratory comment, and you tell me where I'm wrong. It's a win for Donald Trump and a win for America.
No. It's a win for America. It's not a win for Donald Trump. Today, 24 million Americans got to keep their health insurance. And you know that I don't think Obamacare is perfect. And I hope, actually, that this will be an opportunity for Democrats and Republicans to work together on smart fixes for that. But Donald Trump, begrudgingly, it did take him a while, did throw his capital behind this. He went to talk to Republicans this week, the Freedom Caucus, and tried to bully them into backing him. Remember, he walked out, he singled out Mark Meadows and said, we're going to get this done, right? And he didn't end up being able to do that. So I don't think it's a win for him, and I think it hurts his ego, and I'm waiting for his tweets.
Adriana, let's put it this way. If this bill did actually make its way into law, and in 2020 President Trump is running for re-election, and all of a sudden these premiums are higher because the group that put this bill together never thought of the higher premiums in 2020, you could make a case that this failure is a win for Trump.
I definitely think it's a win for Donald Trump for precisely the reason you just stated, that if premiums are high, just as high as Obamacare or worse, that could cost him the election. It'll certainly cost Republicans the election in the midterms. And then also, you know, we know from last time around the CBO scoring ended up being wrong. They were off by 120%. So this time around, when the Republicans say, oh, we're going to bring costs down, how do we actually know that's going to be true? This could have hurt him later on, which you pointed out. Also, I think it's good for him to pivot now to areas where he can win, like tax and regulatory reform, you know, revising Dodd-Frank, renegotiating NAFTA. Those are all areas that will be enormously successful for him and good for the American people. So I think he should pivot to areas that are really going to benefit the middle class.
Definitely pivot.
Just let me ask you this, though. Okay, let's just say Obamacare starts to falter, Jessica, and straight politics now, okay?
Okay.
Starting to falter, you're not going to leave 12 or whatever, 9 or 12 million people out in the streets, so you're going to help them out. But in the meantime, you point out that Obamacare was so bad, and it's failing.
I didn't point that out. You pointed it out.
I
said that there are problems with it.
This is the way this could play out politically.
Yes, that is the way that this could play out politically, and Democrats need to be aware of that, and they need to be willing to fix it. We've talked about this many times ourselves, saying you have something, it takes a huge amount of work to pass a piece of legislation like this. Props to Nancy Pelosi. I think we see how hard she worked to get this done. When you see
to get what done? A failing health care plan?
It's not a failing health care plan.
Well, it is. If prices continue to skyrocket, of course
the cost of health care is lower than the lower rate than the
Look, I don't want to go talk about the bill. I want to talk about the politics, Adriana. Here's how it plays out. It starts to fail. Donald Trump comes in and says, we're going to take care of the people who would be left on the sidelines because of this terrible bill that's failing. And he says, here's the replacement that we should have had all along.
That's right. And, you know, Democrats have been saying, oh, with the new GOP health care plan, had it passed, 24 million may lose their health insurance. That would have been a really bad thing that would hurt Republicans and Donald Trump. So he actually dodged a bullet, in my opinion. I think Republicans need to go back to the drawing board. They need to cobble together a better replacement plan that will truly be better than Obamacare, because if they don't, they're going to be voted out of office in the midterms and in 2020. But you guys had 7 years to do this. This is what and I know that Eric agrees with me here, and you didn't like the plan, Eric. You've talked about that since it came out. So you had 7 years to do this. You've run in 3 elections on repeal and replace. You couldn't get that done. And you think Donald Trump is going to come up with a good plan in the next 4 years? He's moving on. He wants his tax cuts.
No, he'll do that.
He doesn't want to deal with it.
No, Jess, he'll do that too.
Okay,
he'll do that. I mean, you have to. You ran on it. You can't just let that go.
You ran on it. Where's your border wall?
I got to go and say thank you to both of you. Directly ahead.